today's Blazing Trails segment, we have Melissa Nelson, who's the state attorney and who's an incredible role model for all of us here. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you for having me.
So I know that you have had your whole career in law and you've made a huge difference that way. You've served as a role model for women. And now you've got some very exciting things happening. You have over 100 employees, is that right?
We have 330 at the state attorney's office.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a lot of responsibility. So what advice do you have for women leaders who have so many employees and who have so many challenges with those employees?
Well, I work with some fantastic women leaders in our office, and I find that women are particularly good at multitasking. I'm so impressed by so many of my female colleagues who are raising families and at the same time managing big members of staff at the state attorney's office. I think being organized and being truthful and being responsive, following up on the things that leaders commit to is important. So I have the good fortune, I work with a bunch of women who I learn from every day.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, and what you spoke to, I think the part about keeping agreements, I've spoken about that here, and that's integrity. That's and that's the way that women can stay balanced too, is to honor their agreements with themselves as well as with others.
Certainly, absolutely.
So that leads me to your conviction integrity unit. Can you speak to that?
Yes, so a couple years ago when I was elected and took office, we decided that it would be a very important endeavor to stand up a conviction integrity unit. And our Florida legislature graciously gave us a recurring appropriation and the resources to do it, money earmarked just for that purpose. And so our second year in office last year, we hired a great fit to lead the team. Created the policies and the procedures by which we would review petitions, and just recently, as a result of a year-long investigation in her work, released 2 men from prison who had been incarcerated for 42 years.
Wow.
At the beginning of the journey, we didn't know where it would take us or
Right.
what cases it would lead us to. So the journey has been remarkable, and her work has been spectacular.
Which is terrific. And I also know you've had a major win recently in the area of human trafficking.
We when I took office, one of my chief assistants joined us from the United States Attorney's Office. He was the first federal prosecutor in the state of Florida to try a human trafficking case before he had actually taken such a case to a jury.
Wow.
No one had done it before. And he saw both a need and opportunity for the state attorney's office to do this work. And so with him came his investigator who had worked alongside him in this space. And we designated a lawyer to do just this work. We've forged some great relationships with nonprofits in our community who are doing this work, and that culminated last week. Richard True, our investigator, and his partner, Courtney Harrison, were awarded during Victims' Rights Week an award for their work in human trafficking in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Congratulations. That's wonderful.
They did a great job.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And, you personally come from a background of strong leadership, male leadership, with your father having been a marshal and both your grandfathers in World War II. So how has that manifested in your life as a leader, and what lessons have you learned from them?
Well, my father is both of my grandfathers and my dad are all heroes in my book, but I've grown up admiring my dad my entire life. He has served as obviously a role model for me and a big influence on the work that I do now, but currently, and since I've been a prosecutor, he's just been a mentor. He's been a great sounding board. He has excellent judgment, and he wrote me a letter when I graduated from law school that, admonished me to be very careful that my signature now held awesome power, that with it I could obviously take someone's liberty away, change their life, and to always respect that power. So he's been as my mother has as well, but definitely a tremendous influence in my life and continues to be a very important mentor to me.
That's wonderful. So you have a new center that you're opening in May. Can you talk about that?
Yes, so very excited that the Crime Gun Intelligence Center is opening here in our city in Jacksonville, and it's housed in the state attorney's office. Mayor Lenny Curry and the City Council gave us an appropriation, and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and ATF will all be together working to battle violent crime and gun crime. Every gun, every time it's fired, the casing that's ejected from the gun tells a story, and we call that crime gun intelligence. And the city has invested technology in ShotSpotter and NIBIN technology, and all of those technologies have the added benefit of working synergistically together. The purpose of the center is that all of that intelligence will be shared among the investigators and prosecutors working on those cases, which will hopefully allow us to disrupt shooting cycles more effectively, more efficiently.
That's wonderful. That's very exciting. So I know as you go forward, how are the best ways for people to support the work that you do and learn more about what's happening at the State Attorney's Office?
Thank you for asking that. It's important. So we, in the last 2.5 years, have really opened our doors to encourage our community partners to come meet with us, and we have gone outside of our doors to meet with others. I think in the first year we held over 300 different meetings with just different community partners. That's not traditional for the state attorney's office.
I know it's
but
not.
In order to forge partnerships with people doing all different kinds of work in the community, we believe that can only enhance the work we do. And we've already seen at times that we've been able to call on those relationships to our benefit. We think it's important for people in the community to understand what we do and to trust what we do. That also serves as a benefit when we're picking juries on Monday morning and trying cases, as we did last week. So community engagement has been a priority of our administration, and it's been nice to see the office forge new relationships and grow relationships that have been lost for some time.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations on all the wonderful work, and
thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a woman who ignites success.